Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a graveyard. Please do remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Make it to the very end of the video to see where we place the graveyard in our city. This is the amount of space required to make the graveyard. And here are all of the materials that we will use throughout the build. Begin by placing 5 andesite wall in a row on the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We then want to leave a gap of 3 extending left. 1, 2, 3. And then place a row of 13 andesite wall extending left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Then extend backwards by 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Then extend all the way across the back of the build and join back up to where we first started. Next, come all the way to the back left-hand corner of the graveyard and find the 6th andesite wall extending right. So this is the corner, number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Leave a gap of 2 in front of this, so 1, 2, and then place a polished andesite on the ground, and then extend forwards by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Leave a gap of 1 going right and then place 3 more andesite, 1, 2, 3. Extend backwards by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and join back up to where we first started. We then want to place an iron bar in this position and build up the rest of the walls by 2 rows, so 1, 2, add 2 rows of stone bricks and polished andesite on top of the base. So you're going to want to do this in somewhat of a random fashion. We are going to tweak this as we build this, but we want this to be a mixture. So this looks okay, but I'm thinking that we need more stone bricks than andesite. So if we are going to be a bit more sparing with one material in particular, I think that we can afford to be sparing with the andesite. I think this is looking pretty good on the front. The back doesn't look too bad, I'm kind of happy with that, nor does the side look bad at all as well, so I think that this is a good place to leave it. We then want to connect this block together across the door to the window area. We also want to place an iron bar on top of this center block right here. And now we want to grab smooth stone slabs and place smooth stone slabs extending off the left and right sides at the top of this tomb. Extend forwards and then in, and slowly extend the smooth stone slabs up and inwards until they eventually reach together at the top, and we should just see a little bit of visible iron bar like this. We then want to extend these slabs backwards along these sides and extend these slabs upwards and inwards until they eventually meet together once more, and we can place an iron bar at the back as well. We are going to grab stone bricks and place stone bricks in between these 2 sets of slabs. This is the only place that we can actually place bricks, as the other rows we are going to use smooth stone slabs for. And once you're finished, we should end up with this, which looks great. Heading inside the tomb now, we are first of all going to remove all of this grass. As you can see, we have opened up a portal into the underworld as there's lava underneath us, but we want to replace the grass with podzol. Next, we are going to place a skeleton skull right in the middle of the back of the tomb, item frame in front, a bone inside of the item frame, and then we are going to build up dark oak trapdoors around everything that we have just made. And we also want to have 2 dark oak doors on top of what we've made, and you can either flip them open, leave them half open, or leave them closed. I'm going to leave them fully open, and in the corner of the room, I'll have an end rod with a candle on top, and you can choose to light that or not. Perfect. Next, grab a shovel and place a row of 4 1, 2, 3, 4 dirt path extending out from the entrance of our tomb. We can now extend this 4th path all the way over to the right side of the graveyard, leaving a gap of 1 from the wall, but we also want to have a row of path that connects to the center of the entrance, which is the only gap in the wall that we have. And we are going to extend the path backwards until we leave a gap of 1 from the wall as well. So we end up with this sort of pattern. In the corner of the path here, we are going to place a stone brick wall with a chiseled stone brick on top, and then extend the brick left, up, and right like this to make kind of a cross or a gravestone marker. Then we want to have the exact same design all the way over here on the left. We are going to take this block of path, leave a gap of 1, 2, and then make the same wall, chiseled, and then stone brick wall left, right, and above, just like this. We also want to grab stone stairs and make a bunch of headstones. So the first of which is going to be right in front of the corner of this path. We're going to leave a gap of 1 and then place a stone stairs. Leave a gap of 1 going right and place a sideways stairs, and an opposite faced one on the right side of it. Leave a gap of 1 once more and then place another stairs facing this way. We then want to follow the same line from this stair here, and we actually want to come to the opposite side of the path, leave a gap of 1 and then place 1 gap, 2 gap, 3 gap, 4 headstones extending all the way back. And then finally, in the front right-hand corner of the graveyard, we want to, leaving a gap of 1 from the end of this path here, we will place a stone stair, gap of 1, and then 2 back-to-back stairs like this. So just so that we have the positioning correct for all of these, you can see where we have placed all of these. We then want to grab podzol, and in front of every single headstone, we simply just want to dig a row of 2 in front and replace those with podzol. You can also use coarse dirt. Actually, along the back here, we don't want to connect to the path, so we will simply just have 1 podzol, but that's perfectly okay. Unless you did want to move the path, but I wouldn't, because it's just kind of got a nice flow to it at the moment, but this is kind of what we're going for. In the front left-hand corner of the graveyard, we are going to leave a gap of 1 or 2, extending inwards diagonally, then we will have a tree. We'll actually place it just 1 row to the left so we're not lining up with this marker. So we want to place a couple of dark oak fence on top of each other, and then span some gates off of the fence, so maybe just 1 to the right, and then we can extend a fence gate to the left, maybe even place a fence extending outwards diagonally from it, and then like 1 on top. And the appearance is just meant to be kind of like, people keep that closed actually, so we can keep that closed, or we could just have something like this. It just wants to look like a dead tree essentially. And speaking of trees, we want to place a living one all the way over here in the back right hand corner of the graveyard. This is placed directly in the center of these 4 headstones, and we leave a gap of 1, 2 from the right of this path, and we start building a 1, 2, 3 dark oak wood extending up from the ground. We surround that top block with leaves. We add another row on top, and then we just start kind of like building around a little bit. So we just want to make the tree look a little disheveled. Is that a good word to use for a tree? And we can even add some fence gates around, maybe even at the base to look like roots or something like that. And then we just want to dig around the base of the tree and place podzol around it. And then if you like, you can just kind of like extend out the two sides like this, and I think that that looks pretty good. I'm also just going to place some dead bushes in various places. You could even add a little bit of leaves kind of to the graveyard as well if you do like. And depending upon whether you're going for kind of like a more spooky effect, you can add some cobwebs. But I kind of just want to toe the line between spooky and like regular graveyard, so we're not going to have cobwebs or anything like that. But you could definitely add them to kind of like enhance the feel of a kind of a spookier vibe. Next, we are going to take every single one of the grave markers, and in front of them, we are going to add various bits of decoration. So we can add item frames with flowers. We can add candles with, again, flowers as well. These can either be in a pot or they can be in an item frame. We could just add a couple of pots with various flowers about as well. We can add some petals to the grave as well. So that just looks like flowers that have kind of just, you know, kind of fallen apart. It used to be like a bouquet, but now it's just kind of like, you know, is what it is, maybe with like an empty item frame to show that they've been scattered. But the whole point of this is that we kind of just want to decorate all of these in various ways, and pretty much every single grave is going to want to have something. So I really like white flowers. Lilies are kind of more of a funeral flower as well, and azure bluets just look like a bouquet, and so do orchids as well. But I mean, you can place pretty much anything that you like, and again, combinations of things as well. You could even use like the black flower, which name is escaping me, but you know, there's, as long as you're happy with it, as long as there's enough detail, I think they all look good. We are also going to place iron bars along the andesite wall that we have around the edge of the graveyard as well. Remember to remove the white concrete underneath the wall if you haven't already. And then lastly, I'm just going to light some of the candles that we have about the place, but not all of them. I think that the one in the tomb should be lit as well. And there we go. I think that that's good. And that is the tutorial complete, ladies and gentlemen. However, this video is not over. We must now take our graveyard and add it into our city. The most logical place for me to put the graveyard in my mind is right behind the church. It's kind of a spooky place to put it though, because it's right behind a suburbs, a campsite, and also a farm, and even kind of a school as well. So it's kind of like a weird place to have it. I think that we are going to have to move both of these builds, the church and the graveyard, in the future. But for now, I think that we'll just keep it where it is. And that's it. I do hope that you have enjoyed this tutorial. Please do remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you are looking for more things to build, look no further than the Mini City Builds playlist down below in the description. As of recording this video, we have almost 70 tutorials for you to enjoy. That'll keep you busy for a very long time. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.